Welcome. What is up? Welcome to This Week in the Mixer episode. What are we on? 2.21, 2.22. I should probably check that every time before we start. But yeah, look, we got Jeff back again. We're going to go over the matchups this week, or scoreboard from last week, and maybe a little bit of the matchups coming up. And we're going to talk about some bad beats, both in sports, fantasy related, and possibly in life. So first off, anything on your mind, Jeff? NFL, the league in general, before we get started?
2 days until my wedding.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Hope to
so
see.
nothing. Everything's
exactly.
completely fine?
Pretty much. Just finishing everything up, but ready to go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
If anyone has any special alcohol requests, let me know. I'll provide it, but I just need to know about it.
So hopefully Jeff takes 2 L's this week, both in, marital status and in the mixer. So he's joining the married club. So I mean, we're happy to have you, somewhat.
Somewhat.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the matchups from
Last week
first. Just gonna go high level since we got a moderately special guest here. And we got some things to cover. So I don't like starting with my matchup first. So we'll start with Jess and Mason, right? Damn, these freaking team names. They always throw me off.
So Jess won 157, Mason 111.
Yep. Some standout performers on each side. We got Mason got 33 out of Matt Ryan. 29 out of Nick Chubb, and 16 out of DeAndre Hopkins, who continues to let down. Jess, on the other hand, she started Diggs. I assume she had nothing left because not that many people were starting him.
She had Robbie Anderson and Jamison Crowder on the bench, but first week back with Sam Darnold, kind of tough there too.
Yeah. So I mean, good start with Diggs. He got 43. Russ got 31. He keeps having a good year. Devonta Freeman somehow got 26 points. I know he's been a little off. So it's just a second win. She joined. I think everybody has at least 2 wins now. There's there's a few teams. I think there's 4 teams at 2 and 4. Spoiler alert, myself included on there. So yeah, Mason, Aria picked you when I did mixer pick'em. So
That's rough.
let her down. Work on that. Maybe spend a little less time on our MMA and spend more time checking your lineups and making better decisions here. Next up, We got Matt versus Zach.
So Matt almost joined the Rob Carlson club, but he squeaked out 103 points. Zach...
I'm not the only one who hadn't got to 100 this year. There's been a few.
I know, but it's your club. Zach won fairly easy with a 141-point day.
Yep. For Zach, top performer Deshaun Watson did great, 32 points. James Conner, 30. Zeke managed 26. For Matt, on the other hand, he's looks like the only one in the mixer to not have a player score at least 20 points. Julio got 19. Case Keenum got 17, and Fournette got 17. So some struggles for Matt this season.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Legacy League. That's you.
That's
Jeff.
me.
Jeff versus Sean. Jeff continues to wreck, basically.
This was, I scored 164. Sean had 110. This was the kind of week you want, though. If your team's performing well. I think Kyler got 32. Then I had a few guys around 20, a few guys in the teens. It was a solid week from the team. I didn't need that 50-point performance or 40-point performance this week, so that was nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. New England defense continues to be a difference maker on your team. They got 27 points.
Yeah.
Godwin, who I don't think you mentioned, got 26. For Sean, Mike Evans continues to have a good year. He got 20 points. Steady Teddy, 16. Jameis somehow got 16 points. He was just terrible in that game.
Well, when you throw for 400 yards, right?
Yeah, and 6 turnovers.
Yeah.
He fumbled. I think he fumbled once and threw 5 picks. But Chris Godwin still got 26 points, and Mike Evans got 20.
I mean, when they combine for 19 catches, that's what's going to happen.
My take is not like bad about Tampa Bay. It's they're doing well in spite of all of it. They're so bad, it's good. Next up, Anthony versus Jake. This was a tight one. Not the closest of the week, but Anthony takes it despite a kind of a disappointing week for his squad, 116 to 112. He got 26 out of Hooper, Anthony that is, who continues to have a great season. Mahomes put up 21. I mean, Mahomes hasn't been doing that great, but you get 21 points out of him even on his worst weeks compared to Jared Goff, who managed 1 point this week. A little sneak preview to our next matchup.
This could have been an easy win for Jake, though. Jake
Who did he leave out?
made a decision. Jake texted me about halfway through the day on Sunday. He chose to start Marcus Mariota over Kirk Cousins at like 9:45. He made the dreaded like last minute lineup change.
Yep.
And it came back to bite him in the ass. That's a 31-point difference there. Kirk scored 30. Mariota dropped a -1 and lost his starting spot. That's the difference between a win and a loss right there.
Yeah,
guys.
Jake definitely won't be thinking about that for at least another week. I mean, I can kind of relate. In week 1, I had Deshaun Jackson in my lineup the whole week, and then I swapped him for, I can't even remember, probably somebody who's not even on my team anymore. I can't remember who. It wasn't Curtis Samuel. It wasn't Valdez Scantling. I can't remember who my wide receiver 3 was.
Mike Williams?
No, I picked him up because Matt dropped him. So I think it was somebody I've already. It was Dante Pettis. I put Dante Pettis in, who like didn't even see the field. He was on the field for like 1 snap.
There you go.
And I think he got targeted on that snap, but he didn't catch it. So, and then Deshaun Jackson dropped 36, and now he's on my bench because he got hurt the next week, and like I can't drop him because he scored 36 in week 1. Anyway, my Firefest. Back to Jake's Firefest. He got 26 out of Chris Carson, 17 out of Thielen, and 17 out of Beckham, who has also been struggling. So, sorry, Jake. Good luck next week. I think Aria got that game right. She got Jeff right. I can't remember if she picked Zach or Matt. I think she might have picked Matt. Anyway, not too important. Next up, call it game of the week, I guess. Can you check? It's still given. I was hoping Elias would bail me out. I know they post his final scores on Thursday.
Danny got the win.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping there'd be a stat correction. Anyway, so
There was not.
We tied on this, 125 to 125. I got 33 out of Lamar Jackson, 27 out of David Johnson, 25 out of Tyreek Hill. Pretty good top 3 scorers there.
You also got a 23 out of Curtis Samuel, too.
Yeah, and a spot start. I felt pretty good about that. Danny got 24 out of Brady. Alshon got 23, and Julian Edelman got 21. I mean, the main players in this outcome, Danny wins on bench points. There are a few things that happen. Jared Goff only got me 1 point, which just was gut-wrenching. And then
Chargers defense only got you 2 points going against an undrafted rookie?
Yeah. That certainly didn't help. And on top of that, the Chargers really screwed me over in this one because I started Melvin, right? He didn't do anything.
Right.
And I had Keenan Allen. He didn't do much. They kept throwing it to Mike Williams for some reason. And then on top of that, Danny had Rivers and he had Hunter Henry on his bench. And so what happens? Late in the game, bullshit garbage time touchdown from Phillip Rivers to Hunter Henry on the bench, which put Danny, not only did Danny get the points for, the Rivers score, but it also boosted his bench score, which was enough to make the difference in this game.
It's tough.
That is what we call a bad beat. This carries right into our next topic. I remember last year I was kind of on the same end of this. I can't remember exactly how it happened, but me and Danny, I think I ended up losing by 1. And then Thursday came around. Elias Sports Spray, you checked in. Would you believe it or not? I think Jameis Winston, it was he either got minus rushing yards. I think he got minus rushing yards. I don't think it was a turnover assigned to him or anything. But they didn't count a sack or something. Or maybe it was even a kneel down. But
yeah,
it took away from his rushing yards and it dropped him down. And then I think I beat him on, we tied, and then I had the bench point advantage. By the way, we need to change that. We need to go to decimal scoring. I had a few guys that had 9 yards, 7 yards, just right there at the threshold.
Yeah.
And then it'll be less. And then, the other thing is I had a few guys on bye. Well, I had a guy on bye. I had somebody injured. Anyway, so I was kind of at a disadvantage when it came down to bench points. He just happened to, roster guys who were playing. So,
yeah,
it's kind of unfair, but I mean, the system can be tweaked, so it's a little more fair, if you're asking me, Commish, the Tyrant.
Just bring it up in the off season.
Yeah.
We'll vote on it.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, that brings us into bad beats. Of course, everybody knows about my matchup, the game against Mason. For those who don't know or who want to recap that, as I see it nightly in my dreams. I had a 50-point lead going in, or maybe it was just 40 or 30. It was somewhere between 30 and 50-point lead heading into Sunday night football, or maybe it was even Monday night. I guess it's not too important. And I had Stafford and I had Prater, and then Mason had Zeke and Dez. And so they're on the same team. They're going to be eating into each other's scoring opportunities a little bit. And, I had the same with, Stafford and Prater, but you got to figure getting at least 20 points out of a kicker and a quarterback, it's pretty easy. So, but, we know the rest. Zeke went off. Prater kept missing kicks. Stafford was just completely inept. I think between the two of them, they managed 8 or 9 points. And then, I think it was all kind of highlighted by Zeke throwing a touchdown pass to Dez and Prater missing a few field goals and Stafford fumbling inside the 5.
I was gonna say he fumbled as they were going in to score, didn't he?
Yeah. So everything that could have went wrong, and I lost, and it was terrible. At least it was awesomely bad instead of just having a garbage time touchdown bail Danny out.
That's true.
Then it's at least there's a good story from it. This one's just I don't know. I won't even remember it.
Yeah.
So what do you have, Jeff? Do you have some bad beat stories to share with us?
So I have one that probably will always stick out to me. So this was baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was 3 years ago. Pretty sure it was the year where I was cruising through the regular season. I was 15-5 or something like that, and just kind of winning my way pretty easily. Got the bye. Then in the semifinal of the playoffs, I've got going into Sunday, which is our last day. I think I was down by 20, but I had Steven Strasburg, I had Jose Fernandez supposed to pitch, both of them on that Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So then, I'm down 20. The other guy I'm playing has no pitchers left, so both guys, I think, were averaging 18 or 19 points on the season. So even average days should make up,
yeah.
the point total, right? So I go to sleep on Saturday, expecting like, oh, I'm gonna wake up and Strasburg's gonna be pitching and Fernandez is gonna be pitching, and we should make it to the final, right? So I wake up, and first thing I see is that Strasburg had his start moved to Monday.
Oh,
So like I immediately lose a start there.
that's the worst.
And then a little while later, Jose died. So
Oh, wow.
I didn't get that one either.
That is a bad beat.
And that one really sucked because Jose was probably my favorite player in the league at that point.
Yeah, you hear that, Jose Fernandez family? That day sucked for my buddy Jeff here because your relative died.
Exactly. But yeah, that's probably my bad beat story right there.
Yeah, that is.
I went on. I think I ended up losing by like 15 or something like that. I made up a few points, but couldn't quite make up the 20. Yeah, that was tough.
That is a epically bad beat. I'm trying to think if there have been any others. Oh, I mean, this is another Mixer story that's kind of back in the annals of time. I don't think Jeff was. No, you weren't part of the league yet. This was like, I guess, early Mixer, like 2014, 2013.
This is back when Matt was cheating all the time.
After those days.
Okay.
It was the post scandal era, but I mean, it wasn't even that bad of a beat. It was just, I guess it is. It was regular season. It was kind of late in the year, and I think I still ended up getting the first round bye. But I was up against Corey, and I mean, it was one of those. I think it was a game that went to overtime, or it was a late game, but it was the Bengals against somebody. I can't remember who it was, and I mean, it came down to a Hail Mary. And sure as hell, and I had like a 12-point lead or something, and he had Dalton and AJ Green, and then sure enough, Hail Mary, Dalton to AJ Green for like 60 yards or something like that.
To win?
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I think it ended up being, 6 plus the 4 plus the yardage. It ended up being like a 16-point play. So, I mean, I had the win, I was like, everybody was done, everybody else was done. I had like a 12-point lead. It's over, it's done. And then, like, as the clocks hit 0, he hits with a 16-point play, and I lose.
That's tough.
I lose. I was like, I couldn't believe it. And I think I was with Corey. I think we were over at...
that would make it worse.
I think we were over at Bob's house, and like I wasn't even like scoreboard watching or anything. I had just known that I had the lead, and then all of a sudden, like, the points click over. I was like, wait, what the hell just happened?
Right.
Yeah, that one was no fun. And then another bad beat was my divorce, but
Wow.
I'm winning now. We've recovered from that.
Wow.
Recovered from that.
And remarried.
Yeah, and got a kid. So scoreboard. You just remember when a bad beat happens, it's about how you react when you get knocked down. So
exactly.
So yeah, don't let them get to you too much, Danny. You're not gonna get in my head.
So we going on to
matchups? We're gonna go on a matchup. So next this week starts tonight. As a matter of fact, I got 2 players going: Phillip Lindsay and Tyreek Hill. Denver versus KC. It's gonna be an interesting game. Kansas City's been struggling lately. I mean, just a quick. I mean, how do you see this game going? Do you think Kansas City's struggles are going to continue? Do you think they're going to blow Denver out?
I mean, to be honest, like, Kansas City struggles. They've had one game in the last 2 years where they scored less than 24 points. Mm-hmm. Right, that happened to be against the Colts. Even when they play bad, they still put up 24 or more points, pretty much. Mm-hmm. They had a 17-3 lead last week, and they lost 30-24. The tough thing is I just don't know if the Broncos' offense can beat up on the Kansas City defense enough. Right? Like, I think Kansas City's going to put up points. I just don't know if Denver can put up enough.
This game in Denver?
I don't know. I can look.
Well, I mean, so you got the Chiefs winning comfortably, I take it.
I mean, yeah, so it's in Denver. Chiefs are -3 going into the game.
That's it?
It opened -4.5.
So
that means a lot of people think Denver's got a chance.
it's in Denver.
Yeah.
Well, it's a primetime game too.
Yeah.
Usually it get extra bump.
I would put like Chiefs, 28, Denver 24 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's where I would see it.
Yeah, I don't know if Denver can score that much. even against the Chiefs defense.
Yeah.
But I mean maybe. They got Philip Lindsay.
The nice thing about your matchup this week is neither of you guys really have buys going on.
Yeah.
You and Jake.
Yeah.
You guys, I think you have the only one, Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, who would probably be my wide receiver.
Oh, he has Odell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take that. Even though Odell's kind of like a roster bomb since he's not really scoring, as he got Limpar and Baker Mayfield throwing him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so right now it's projected 130 to 123. I know projections don't matter. I think Jake doesn't even have. Yeah, he's missing a guy.
Yeah, he doesn't have a third wide receiver up there right now.
So he'll probably be projected to win, depending on who he starts. I mean, I got Jared Goff going up against Atlanta's defense. So if he doesn't get it done this week, I mean, I don't know. I picked up Teddy.
You should probably just start Teddy anyway.
He's on bye.
Probably be better than Goff.
Well, we'll see. So I mean, who you got in this one? Obviously, I'm a little impartial in this matchup.
So to be honest, in this matchup, I would take. I would probably take your team. I like Tyreek. I like Keenan. I like Lamar. And I like David Johnson playing the Giants.
Yeah, I got some good matchups this week.
So you also got Philip Lindsay tonight.
Yeah.
That if anything, you can run on that Chiefs defense.
Yep.
So I think he might have an 80, 90-yard game or something like that. And
Hopefully.
Get you some points.
Hopefully, the only time I've started him, he had like 6 points. So.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
Yeah. It might be one of those players that you just can't get right. All right. Next matchup, we got Sean and Danny. Right now, I mean, Sean's got his roster full based on what I printed, and he's projected for 121. Danny's projected for 133. But he's got Saquon in there, and I don't think Saquon's going to play.
Saquon was a full practice today.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, from what I read.
Okay.
Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to play, but he did practice fully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, by the looks of it, to me, I think Danny, with everyone healthy, probably takes this matchup. Danny's team's really not that bad. He just complains all the time. But, Sean's got a couple guys. Sutton could go off tonight. You never know. Marlon Mack against that Texans defense is probably a decent matchup.
Robert Woods against that Atlanta defense.
Should be a good matchup.
Zach Ertz, if he can do anything. He's got Cole. He's super flexing Cole Beasley.
Yeah, I mean, that's the tough thing.
Some of you guys have some balls.
Well, Sean also has Kamara, who he has out at the moment.
Okay.
Because it looks like he's not going to play, but you never know. I mean, if I were Sean, I'd probably move Darnold, even though he's playing the Patriots, into that flex spot, just because, unless he has a terrible, terrible day, he's probably still going to get at least 10.
Yeah.
But yeah. Sean also has Gurley on the bench, too, because we don't know what's up with him.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, I guess. The roster decisions Sean makes, it looks like he's got some tough ones to decide. So It should be a good matchup. I think that'll be a decent game. Who are you taking? You taking Danny?
Tough to see, but if Kamara and Gurley are out, I'm taking Danny.
Yeah.
If they both play, I'm taking Sean.
I mean, I can't. I'm anti Big Sim, so I got Danny in this one.
All right, I got you.
Next matchup, Anthony. I think he's projected for this week's highest total with 140, and then Matt, struggling a little bit this year, struggling to get his roster or his lineup set as well.
Matt has updated. Matt is up to 139 projected.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well done.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, so I mean, he's got Mahomes tonight for Anthony.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's only I think Mint Gardner, doesn't he have do they have an easy matchup this week?
Gardner plays the Bengals.
Okay, so maybe he'll be able to crack 20 points. He seems to be more of a game manager at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Julio's gonna be in that Rams game, so maybe Jalen Ramsey. I don't know if he gonna play. He might.
We'll see.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna play, but I mean the Rams defense isn't what it used to be. However, they had that piece, but I think Julio's pretty much matchup proof. Who you got winning this one?
This is tough, but
it's a classic wine mixer rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, I think the running backs kind of cancel out to me. You got Fournette against Kerryon Johnson, Aaron Jones against Derrick Henry. They're all kind of similar guys. Although Fournette's been getting a lot of volume this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think receiver-wise, I mean, this is really tough, but I would probably lean towards Anthony. I think he's got the 2 better QBs. And I just think they might be the difference.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Dak gets Philly, who just got carved up last week by Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Mahomes we've seen Mahomes, his bad weeks are like 20 points.
Yeah.
Right? So, like.
Yeah, that he's been the better team all year. It's a low-key good tight end matchup, too. You got Austin Hooper against Darren Waller.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I like Anthony in this one as well. But, I mean, I like Matt's chances this week more than most, I guess. So good luck to both of you. Next matchup, we have Zach and Jess. Zach projected at 139, Jess at 117, unless that's been updated.
It hasn't, but she has Jarvis in still, and he's on a bye.
Okay.
So I'm sure she'll, add somebody in that won't get her up to Zach's projection, but it'll get her closer.
So Zach's got Deshaun Watson projected for 23. Russ on Jess's side also for 23. She also has Aaron Rodgers. I mean, pretty even battle there between the two quarterbacks, since Zach also has Carson Wentz.
Jess has a couple people going tonight. She has Emmanuel Sanders and Travis Kelce.
Okay.
That could, if they get off to a good start for her, that could kind of set the tone.
She's won 2 of her last 3, or maybe
I think it's 2 in a row, isn't it?
2 in a row. Okay.
It's at least 2 of her last 3, if not 2 in a row.
I mean, she's making an improvement. She usually does make a push kind of towards late in the season for some reason, and then ends up being like the last team not to make the playoffs. I mean, you just hate to see that continue. I think I do take the doorman in this one.
I think I do too, just because his team's at full strength.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that one is. I mean, you never know, but I don't think Diggs has a repeat of his 40-point game last week.
I think that's safe to say. Last matchup, Jeff. You're going against Mason. Oh, that'll be a fun one. Currently projected for 139, Mason for 127.
Yeah, so this is a rough week for me. I got McCaffrey out.
Uh-huh.
I got Godwin out.
Mm-hmm.
So the two number ones at their respective positions.
And you're still projected for 139. Must be rough.
I mean, I got to start Eckler, and we have no clue what's going on with him.
Yeah.
He's, I think, one of the better number 2 options
for sure
in terms of running backs.
Definitely.
But the Chargers seem to want to get Melvin involved.
2K.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could have happened, but Melvin had to ruin it.
Yeah, and I mean, now that Melvin's back, his trade value is probably, like a Popeye sandwich or something.
One thing too, in terms of projections, Mason has Amari in at the moment. Amari's projected for 0 to not play this weekend. So if he takes his next best option, that'd be Allen Robinson, who's got a 13, puts Mason up to 140 projected.
Okay. So it's projected to be somewhat close. Yeah. I mean, you've been wrecking. Mason has Matt Stafford as one of his quarterbacks. You got Josh Allen, who has an easy matchup against Miami. I think Jeff's going to take this one pretty easily against the Triple B.
I hope so. Mason is throwing a lot of disrespect towards me this week. He wouldn't even come out to my wedding.
Oh, he's not going to the wedding?
No, Mason.
Oh, he's still in Indy.
He's too much of a bitch to show up. I don't think he could handle it.
I believe the proper nomenclature is baby back bitch.
Yeah, he is a triple B. Full on. If, you know, I feel like Mason really owes me a really good wedding gift at this point.
Yeah.
So he should probably just bench everyone just to ensure the loss.
I hear he has a Bones Jones doll that he wouldn't be too upset to part with. Anything else on your mind before we get out of here and I get back to work?
That's all. Have fun working. I got the week off, so.
Nice. I just want to go on record. I know there's been some controversy lately and people have been looking for my opinions on it. I just want to go on record that This Week in the Mixer is a pro non-eating baby show and production.
It is?
Yes, pro non-eating babies, and it's very important that you go on record. I haven't heard anybody else go on record, so
we have an overpopulation problem though, and I heard
we
can't eat the babies. I heard eating babies allows you to live longer though.
No, and I mean, Sean hasn't come out and said anything, so I mean, all the signs where the simulation's going, I don't like it, and I'm coming out making a stand or non-baby eating here. I denounced that, and yeah, now the record is set straight. But that's it for this week. Catch you guys next week. Catch some of you at Jeff's wedding. Let's get it. See you guys. Good luck.